Welcome, everybody, to another dirty episode of Three Men in a Podcast. I'm Claudio Capri. We got Luigi Costanza, and we got the Ange TV show, aka Angelo Parella. Just before we go on to tonight's topic, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this on Facebook, head on over to the YouTube. There's this thing called a rectangle. Just press the subscribe, please. We're trying to get to 100. To 100. Followers. I mean, Angelo has to get a new shirt, so that's we're trying to get to 100 subscribers. So then we could, because we're doing this bi-weekly, but eventually we're going to do this weekly, and that's it. So, ladies and gentlemen, like, share, and subscribe. We've already got a few people. We've got Emily, we've got Captain YOLO, and the rest of the people, as I mentioned, head on over to YouTube so we could see you, and put in your comments, because tonight is going to be an amazing freaking topic. So tonight's topic is Louis, take over the topic.
All right.
What are we
My
talking about
God.
tonight?
Good evening, everybody. What's up, guys? What's up? Okay, so tonight we decided Ange had a great idea to do a show about different stages and challenges and steps in a man's life. So before we get into the topics and we discuss this, I wanted to say something. First of all, to say what Claudio has just gone through, and it's funny because we can relate it to what we're going to be discussing tonight, is men's health and the importance of taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
So first of all, I'm sure I echo Ange's feelings that Claudio, we went through this with you since last week. We're really glad that you're back. You're rejuvenated. You look fucking beautiful.
Thank you, guys. Honestly, thank you very much. And just before we continue, to everybody who reached out to me last week, including you guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart. As I mentioned this before, I'm not gonna die. But this is a life-changing. I have to live with this for the rest of my life, and who knows? You know what? If everything comes back, I might be off medication, and then diabetes might go away. Who knows? But for now, this is what it is, and it's not life-threatening. So I'm happy. I'm happy that I'm here. And
the moral of the story here is to listen to your body. Number one.
Exactly. Yes.
Number two, don't be a testadura, a hard head, for those of you that don't understand Italian. And when it's time to go to hospital and check yourself out, please, guys, don't fuck around with this.
Do the right
thing.
Exactly.
Do the right thing and go. And I'm so glad he did. And he got the necessary help that he needed, because he looked like shit, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And also the other is to take care of your health, because without that, guys, you got nothing. Literally.
Exactly.
You literally got nothing without your health. So
absolutely,
I'm really glad, bro. I really am. I know that the outpour of love that that all the viewers poured out to you was really nice. So want to thank everyone as well on your behalf.
Thank you. And if I could just go on with this just a bit more. So the whole thing is, folks, just diet. That's all it is. Diet and exercise and just stay away from fried food. Stay away from crap, because honestly, during this pandemic, that's what I've been eating, and I'm like, you know what? I was thinking that I'm invincible, but then I was getting these stomach aches, and I'm like, why am I getting these stomach aches now? And then now I understand. So now it's just, you just got to eat well, and while I mean, eat clean, a lot of vegetables, a lot of, proteins and stuff, and just, exercise and just be happy. You know,
And also move around too, eh? Like
exactly, move around. Yeah, move around as well. And the doctor that was treating me was saying, positivity is key, right?
Yeah.
Because anxiety is not obviously is not good for diabetes, right?
At
Because
all.
if you're anxious, your blood sugar, so you got to stay positive. You got to do the best you can. So I'm trying to do all that and see where that goes.
You know what? It's ironic. Angie mentioned being active, and it's ironic that this happened. And what our sexy premier said yesterday, that at least we're increasing the curfew to 9:30, so give it a little bit more opportunity to get out there at night, take a walk, guys. The weather's getting nicer.
Yeah.
Maybe them and I know just something stupid like that. Even though we shouldn't have a curfew, but I don't want to get into that. But just the fact of changing that mindset, being a little bit more positive.
Yeah,
Now
exactly.
we have till 9:30. We have till 9:30, but at least it's helping. I think it's gonna help.
I like Alpha Storytime's comments. He said he has to eat healthy now. He's getting a 6-pack. Ladies, ask him out now. It's a long-term investment.
So guys, before seeing that we're on this whole thing, I wanted to just talk about before. Well, it's actually a step related to what we're all going through now. I'm not gonna tell our viewers and people watching or listening to do. Everyone has their choice when it comes to vaccinations. I just want to tell you, I got mine on Monday. I know Claudio got it while he was in the hospital
on Friday. Yeah.
On Friday. Listen, I'm not gonna play. It's your right to refuse them, to not take them, to take them, whatever you want to do. I'm just saying, if you want society as a whole to get back to normal, guys, unfortunately, this is what we have to do. So, that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say with that.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. And if I could add, the side effects. Everybody's scared of these side effects. Honestly, you know what I got? I had diarrhea, and then I had some hot flashes. Like when was that? I got it on Friday and Sunday night. I'm like, why am I so hot? And then, but no, that was the only thing. Ange, you obviously you work in the health sector. What were your reactions when you got your vaccine? Like, what did you feel the side effects?
Oh, it's true. We're all vaccinated. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I got one dose, but on the first dose, obviously, guys, my arm hurted. And I think that happens with every vaccine, that your arm is sore, right? So arm was really sore. I think the biggest side effect was the anxiety. You start worrying because it was the first dose. Like, I heard all kinds of things. You're going to inject 5G into you, a chip, this, that, whatever. So everything was going through my head because you have to wait for 10, 15 minutes. So that's when the panic mode started to come in and everything. But honestly, guys, it went very well. Now, it's funny because we're pushing the vaccine right now, but there's somebody that died, I think yesterday or today.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
The AstraZeneca, but it was one person, guys. One person died because of a blood clot. And they said it, guys. Any vaccine you take, somebody's going to go down, guys. It's not a perfect science. Don't forget that, right?
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, you're playing with odds, and the better odds are to take the vaccine.
Yeah,
you're right, Ange. When you find yourself in the losing end of that, right now the ratio is 1 to 100,000, and apparently that's going to go up with the AstraZeneca. The possibilities of blood clot, not death, possibility of blood clot is going to go up to 1 to 250,000. 250,000. That's a pretty good ratio. It's still, unfortunately, it's still a ratio. But as you said, Ange, no one's ever saying that vaccines never had these. There's always going to be people that are not going to agree with vaccines. It's always been. It's not just because everyone thinks that this one is because it's been rushed. No, guys, since the beginning, since the dawn of vaccines, there's always going to be a certain percentage that are going to have sometimes fatal reactions.
Exactly.
That's all I'm trying to say.
But if you have parents, if you're a grandparent and you want to see your grandkids, that's when you start thinking I should get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and Captain Yolo is right. Any protection is better than no protection on the issue of vaccines. Damn right, Captain Yolo. But if you're talking about sex, well, and that's another protection. That's
another story.
Exactly. But no, you're right. You're right. Look, guys, I don't want to be that guy that's going to say, get the vaccine. get the vaccine. Honestly, so then we can return to life, and you can protect yourself, and you can protect yourself from your wives and your girlfriends. So get the vaccine, folks. It's I don't know. I don't want
Well,
to be that guy. And
no, and also, but at least you know what, Claudio, we're not being irresponsible, right?
exactly,
We do have a little bit
exactly.
of a platform here, and
Yeah.
we're just giving our opinion. That's all. So, it's funny that that was one of the topics we wanted to discuss tonight was dealing with life-changing health issues, and I
Yes.
think that was the great one to start, especially with what you went through,
Yes.
and also related to the vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what I wanted to deal with, because unfortunately, um, two of the three of us have lost parents.
Mm-hmm.
Ange just lost a grandfather
Mhm.
a few months ago. Um, when it comes into steps into a man's life, or for that matter, anybody's life, is dealing with the death of a parent.
Yeah.
Um, I was 21 um, when I lost my mom, and I look back now,
Mhm.
and how it shaped my life, right? Because my life was on a certain trajectory, and her illness and subsequent death changed everything. And I'm going to explain to you why. Because,
Mhm.
for example, up until then, I was planning and I was already ready, and I was ready to move to Florida when my mom
Yeah.
was. I was going to go literally um, I was ready to leave a couple of months after she was actually diagnosed. So I already had been planned. So
Mhm.
God knows, right, what would have happened in my life, because I was going with my best friend at the time, and he ended up staying there for 10 years, guys. Okay. He's back here in Montreal. But so how that would have changed my trajectory. Not only that, so I obviously decided to stay here, and I was in university at the time. And I obviously couldn't concentrate,
Mhm.
and I pulled out of university after 2 years, after 2 semesters. Once again, my trajectory in life changed. Right.
Yeah.
All this to say, guys, is that these are normal steps that you're gonna go through. I don't wish it to anybody that you have to lose at such a young age, such as Claudio and I had. I don't, but on the positive end in there, and Claudio, I'm sure you're gonna tell us your story after that, is it made me change my life. It made me appreciate life and enjoy life. And honestly, guys, don't sweat the small little shit. It really fucking doesn't matter at the end of the day. It really doesn't. When you
Mhm.
really look at it, it doesn't, guys. It doesn't. So that's how I changed my frame of mind at 21 years old, which is a lifetime ago for me. I'm
Mm-hmm.
46 now, so it's half of my
Mhm.
life without my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it how can I say, I was a mama's boy, right? So
Mhm.
it accelerated my growth,
Maturity.
my
Yeah.
maturity, my growth. I have no choice. I
Yeah.
had no choice, right?
Yeah.
I had to learn. I was a mama's boy. I didn't do anything. My eldest sister took me aside and says, Luigi, I'm not your mom. Uh,
Mhm.
I'm not going to do everything for you. I'm going to teach you, but I'm not doing everything for you, but I'm going to teach you. And, I look back now and I'm like, thank God she fucking did that, thank God. So, guys, just appreciate your parents, appreciate what you have. And those moments, you may not see it when you're in the moment, but those are all learning lessons that'll make you grow as a human being.
Mhm.
So, so
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Ange, do you want to go?
Well, I just wanted to say, yes, I did lose my grandfather and everything, but I think losing a parent, like Luigi lost his mom, you lost your father, I believe, Claudio, right?
Yes.
When it comes to a parent, I think there comes a time where you have to accept that your father is gone, and that's not an easy thing to do, especially at 21 years old. Listen, if I were 21 years old and I would have lost one of my parents, oh boy, I wasn't ready for it at that time. I was still a baby at 21 years old in terms
Yeah.
of responsibilities and everything.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to put that in there. But yeah, accepting someone's death, it is a big stage in life, okay? Especially if you've never seen death, you've never experienced death in the family. I
Mhm.
would say this is probably the okay. Well, my dad's father had passed away when I was small, so I didn't really understand it. But this is
Mhm.
probably one of the biggest I've had for family deaths. So
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. Well, I just want to add in here. So for example, so for when my dad died,
How old are you,
uh,
Claudio? Sorry, how old were
I
you?
was he passed away 2 years ago, so 30. I was 20, 29,
Okay,
29 years old.
okay,
So obviously, because my dad's been sick for many years before that, and my dad was a type of guy who would just say, hey, don't cry over me, don't, because honestly, when he passed away on the weekend, I went to go do a comedy show, because he told me don't stop, just do what you got to do, and
awesome.
and that's it. And and I'll be honest with you, um I didn't share a tear when my dad died, because I already shed it while he was slowly because my dad had Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and dementia. So I was crying when I saw him losing his mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So then when the funeral came, like it was I was a bit at ease, so I'm like, okay, now I know what I got to do. And you know uh I know my dad's in heaven looking down at me, and he's probably like, you know, uh, saying, trying to keep me positive, and trying to tell me to move forward. So that's the thing, right? Losing a parent at any age is not easy.
no,
Even if you see it in the long run, there's always that moment. But then when the moment comes, there's that, there's that, like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
It's amazing, Claudio,
yeah,
how I could relate to what you're saying. Everyone handles bereavement differently, right?
yeah,
But what you said was exactly like me. It's as if we already knew, right? We did our mourning prior, while they were still alive. And then I found myself, and I remember, like you just said, Claudia, I swear to God, I asked my sisters, I'm like, guys, I can't cry anymore. And she's like, "Whoa, guys, we've been crying for 6 months, right? You already
yeah,
accepted it. You already." So my point is, where I think what Claudio and I are trying to say is, guys, there's no proper way to handle
yeah,
bereavement or death. Um, but honestly, guys, I'm gonna say it, and I know it sounds cliche. Enjoy and appreciate your parents. Respect your
exactly,
parents,
exactly.
but above most, guys, appreciate your parents, really, because you don't know what you have. Like the old song of the Rolling Stones, you don't know what you have till they're gone.
Mm.
So
Exactly, exactly.
having lived half a life without my mom, trust me, guys, um, that's the hard part. So
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but I want to just say something interesting though. Like accept it's not easy to accept your debt, to understand that you're getting close or whatever. But at the same time, you want to be at the point when you die that okay, I did all the things I wanted to do. If you wanted to get married, you got married. Good for you. If you wanted to go to Italy and you went to Italy, that's good. But like I was saying, do the things that you could do now before it's too late, and then you regret things, right? So if you die with a conscience that's like, you know what, I did what I wanted to do. I was happy. I lived a pretty good life. At the end of the day, you accept that more.
you're a good person. You're a good person too. I mean, you actually
Yeah.
contributed to the world, and seeing that we're there handling the death of parents. I often ask myself, and I'm going to relate this again. I'm a huge Tragically Hip fan, right? So when Gordani died a few years back, I couldn't believe the way he handled him knowing he's going to die. And
Mm.
it goes to what Ange said, is that he wanted to have a purpose before he died. So a way of saying thank you. He did concerts with stage terminally ill brain cancer guys, from
yeah,
from west to Victoria, all the way to Newfoundland. And the last concert, I'll never forget that night in Kingston. And Kingston is their hometown. But just what he did and what that took out of him, but he had to do it before he died. I don't know if I'd be able to handle knowing that I'm my death is coming. I really don't. And I guess you won't know that until you're faced with that moment, guys. um I don't know. What do you
I
think?
you know since you brought up the Tragically Hip, I remember because I saw their final concert. It was on TV,
Mhm.
and I remember Gord. He was singing, but at one point he kept yelling.
Yeah. Yeah, during
Uh,
during Grace 2 song. It's called Grace
yeah,
2.
and for me, that's where I shed a tear.
Yeah.
because I'm like, God damn. And then the fans, even Trudeau was there, but we're not gonna talk about it. Anyways,
No,
so
it doesn't matter.
the fans were there, and they accepted that he's gonna go. And I'm looking at this guy, and I'm like, God damn, this, like, Gord is someone you want to look up to, because you're like, you gotta enjoy life. You gotta do what you want to do. You gotta do what you want to, what you love. And it reminds me, and I'm gonna go a little bit off topic, but it reminds me of people, those people who are like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do this by a certain age, you got to do that by a certain age, you got to do this,
Mm,
like, where they see no fun in life,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So
Like it has to be a
Gord,
plan. Yeah.
yeah. So Gord reminds me of that cliche thing. You got to do what you love, you know.
But I think what it's great with, because it's even a lyric in his one of his songs.
Yes.
Um, find the purpose in your life.
Yeah.
Find the
Exactly.
purpose in your life.
Yeah.
It's such a great lyric, guys.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody has gonna have their own purpose. Everybody. And it doesn't matter. No one could tell you your purpose is right or wrong. It doesn't matter, as long as you know your own purpose and you do everything to live towards your purpose and maybe perhaps make this world a better place.
Exactly.
I could
Exactly.
honestly say that, you guys, I'm so glad I do this podcast with you. Ange, you make people laugh as a comedian. Ange, you have great content on your show, on your channel every night. I do nothing, but it doesn't matter. But I'm just, so everyone has a different purpose, and
Yeah.
don't let anybody tell you that your
Exactly.
purpose is not as good or relevant as anyone else's.
Exactly. Everyone, like everyone has a different purpose, and it just, again, it's also a matter of time, right? Like, for example, like, especially in the entertainment world, right? A lot of people have been asking me, so, like, I remember when I first started comedy, like, oh, so when are you gonna do Just for Laughs? I'm like, I just got in here, like, relax,
Yeah, yeah,
and now, like, like I'm asking that question, do I want to do JFL? If it happens, it happens. It doesn't happen. But, like, I'm doing comedy, not because I want to be on GFL. I want to do comedy because I want to try and make people laugh. So that's my goal. That's what I want to. But now, obviously, with the pandemic, I'm sidetracked. So now like I feel like I'm a Mama Luke. I'm trying to get back into it as soon as everything opens. But that's what it is. It takes time, and you just got to be patient at it as well.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
One, obviously this another one that Ange came up with in terms of a milestone in someone's life, in a man's life,
Mhm.
is and it's going to be interesting here, is getting married. It's
Yeah.
interesting because I'm married, obviously, coming up on 16 years this summer. Ange is a girlfriend, and obviously we have the American gigolo to my left or right or whatever, the great American gigolo here.
Next
Uh,
bachelor.
now he's now he's gonna be tutu schnella schlella and gorgeous after with his diet.
Okay,
With his new diet, he's gonna be all sexy. He's gonna be too good for me and Ange. We're gonna change guys, I can't do the podcast with you anymore, guys. I'm too sexy for you.
Yeah, guys, my contract over here, you got to pay me.
Bring a lot of women on the show.
No.
Me, I'm bringing girls here. What do you guys bring me? Pay me 50 grand
No.
each episode.
Listen, Claudio, you could start doing that until you get us a sponsor, okay?
Duly noted. Hold on. Let me write this down.
But so yes, so getting married, it's I think it's taken a new meaning in today's society. I think society, this generation views marriage and the meaning of a traditional marriage and couple has completely changed, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Completely. So I'll give you my point of view
Mhm.
when I was dating my wife, and obviously back then it was that's what you do, right?
Mhm.
You date a girl, and it's obviously time to go on your own and get married. Not that I regret it, of course not, but I'm just saying is that how it's changed the mentality. So
Yeah.
I want to know like your points of view, how you see it, and has it changed? I mean, in today's society.
Ange.
Well, it's funny because usually if you're Italian, you have your grandmother saying, "Quando ti sposa? When are you getting married?"
Yeah.
Like, and you go through your life, okay, thinking, "When am I going to get married?" Oh, it's probably going to be at 24, 25. Yeah, okay. Then it's how big is my wedding going to be? Who am I going to invite in my wedding? What am I going to wear? Your whole life up until at least 30 years old is judged by getting married. Did you realize that?
It's
Like, it's
true.
incredible. But
It's a very good point.
now, forget about the pandemic, but even before the pandemic, I saw singledom becoming a big movement. People
Yeah.
saying, you know what? If I'm with my parents, I'll do my job, whatever. Look, if I have a roof over my head and I have food, I'm happy. That's what it is now. It's all about survival. Nobody really takes the risks they would take before. Did you guys realize that? Like a lot of the people
Absolutely.
that were like, independent and they weren't really a big fan of dating. It got normalized now. Like I said, it's singledom, and there's
Yeah.
not that pressure to get married anymore because you can't get married. Imagine that.
Exactly.
If someone
Exactly.
says, "Why aren't you married yet?" Well, where am I going to go get married? You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
it's good for them though, because like before this, they were all being judged and pointed at and this, that, whatever. But now people realized, I mean, take your time. However long it takes, it takes.
Exactly.
All we need is our health, right? We need to survive this pandemic. We need to survive
Exactly.
what's going to come out of this pandemic, because that's probably the worst part of this pandemic, the
Yeah.
shortages of everything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But
and
I just think, sorry, Claudia, I think that societal norms have completely changed as well, right,
yeah,
guys?
exactly.
They've completely
Exactly.
changed them when I was dating my wife, right, till today. To today, case in point, what just Angie just said, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's completely changed.
Yeah.
So, Angie, Claudio, how do you deal with or do you even feel or deal with
Um
the pressure of having to meet a girl and get married? And
no. My mom's not that. My mom is 71, and she's not that type of Italian girl. Goes, oh, you gotta hurry up and get married. She goes wherever makes her happy, right?
Mhm.
But what's hilarious is I see couples who have been together for 10 years. All right, and then get married, and then they get a divorce a year later. That to me is hilarious. First of all, second of all, Phil Balabanos, who came in the comedy, he was on the morning show this morning, and they were talking with Pantelis and George Santrizos, and
Mhm.
they were saying like, now rent and everything's expensive. It's,
Bad.
so think about this, okay, guys? Your blood pressure is gonna increase. Think about this. Number one, you gotta be with a girl. She might be, beautiful like the honeymoon phase, right? Just before you get married, everything's gonna be okay. You're gonna be with the girl, you're gonna go out, blah blah blah. She cuts she cuts your hair off your toes, and everything is beautiful, right?
I mean,
And then hold on, and now you gotta worry about. You gotta be like, you gotta hope that her dad owns like a bunch of condominiums, all right, because then you're like, Minka, but it's gonna be like 50,000, 50, 60,000 over here, and then you gotta go into a condo. Then the girl's gonna be like, I want to have a family. So your hobbies go right out the window.
Of
Okay.
course.
So then your
But-
blood sugar goes from 5.1 to already 13
it,
because
it always comes down to diabetes now.
exactly. Okay. And then here's the thing. And then she goes, me, I want a house. But you invested 50,000 in this condo. And then she wants a house in the DDO or West Island. Okay. And then you got
Now you have baggage. You have to disclose that now on
exactly.
PLF.
Exactly.
So,
And then
but you bring up a good point, Claudio. The thing
Yeah.
is, though, that now, think about it, though.
yeah.
A lot of couples are staying together out of convenience
Of
Yeah,
course.
exactly.
because
Of course.
they can't afford to be on their own.
Exactly.
Right, once couples are staying together that are fucking miserable, and I've heard it from them. I'm telling you, how am I
course.
gonna pay my mortgage alone? How am I gonna pay my rent
course.
alone?
Listen,
I
And
have a
that's a
lifestyle.
direct correlation with a rise in domestic violence, because
Yeah,
they're staying
listen.
there and they're not happy.
Yeah.
They're fighting, but they're
Yeah.
staying.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen, guys. If I have like 5 condominiums under my name, okay, and then if I have to divorce my wife, I have to give her 50% of my fucking condominium. Do you think I actually want to do that? No, I don't want to do. I don't want to give 50% of my condominiums to my wife. No, God
Well,
Yeah,
damn.
but
what
Claudio, that's because you buy it with her, and then it's half. Why do you? If you buy it yourself
I
and she doesn't pay a penny,
Man,
you
get
know.
by with her, bro. You gotta do, bro. You go. Okay, this is what you do. You go old school. Okay,
Yeah.
You invest in the house and or whatever, or like a shed. At this point, you go to Rental Depot, make a shed, and then and there's her house. Make so I went to I went to Costco around this past weekend. $100 for a shed. I'm like, Jesus Christ, is this a month's rent? Honestly, I buy that shed. But anyway, so that's it. But things are very expensive. But the thing is, people become stingy, right? So like if I'm gonna marry Nagraba, right, and she becomes a Nagraba after, right? Do you honestly think that I'm gonna share everything with her? No. So, and again, that's why couples stick together because everything's too expensive and they can't
bro?
go
I
anywhere
hate,
else.
I hate to break it to you, Claudio.
Yeah,
These are the times we're living in.
I know.
Life has gotten too expensive, and once a couple's together, for them to, I'm telling you, the first thing in their thought process is how am I going to pay, and how am I going to live, how am I going to maintain my lifestyle.
And if you move out, you got to get the furniture, you got to
Yeah.
get the new stuff, you have to get a new place. You
Do you
know how
think
much inconvenience that is?
Do you think I want to go to Costco every weekend? My girlfriend's like, babe, we're gonna
Yeah.
go to Costco. Ah, son of a bitch! I have to go see Louis, but I have to go to Costco, and then I have to do the embarrassment call at IKEA, bro. Check it out. I'm with my girlfriend at IKEA.
Mhm.
Yeah, no. We're no. She wants a new bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I broke it. Yeah. All right, bye. See, that's embarrassing. Or even better, the couples go with the other couples because this happened. I went before the pandemic. I went with two other pathetic couple. I don't know, not really pathetic, but we went to a restaurant and all they were saying is, "Yep, yep, yep."
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, and I'm just there. I'm like, man, one of these wives for sure is not getting the D. That's what was going. But then they're like, yeah, no, we've been happily married, and meanwhile, the husband, like, I think he's gonna pass out. He's like, I'm like, bro,
well,
like your husband's passing out. Like, why are you happy together? You know,
well, look, I think Amelie has the best solution. That's what you got to move to a country so you could afford to live alone for a divorce like me, after a divorce like me. Very smart, Amelie. Very
very,
smart.
very
Um,
smart, Emily, very smart.
yeah, so that's what I mean. I think well, society in terms of how we look at couples has changed, but I think like Ange said as well is that this pandemic as well has changed completely
Yeah,
relationships
for
and
sure.
dating and it's completely changed everything. And
Yeah,
in essence, it's just going to be uh, a chain ball effect, that it's going to affect marriages and future marriages and
exactly.
whether or not they're going to be marriages because people now thinking, what's the use? Like you said, Claudio, the people that are together for 10 years, they get married and divorce after a year. Like, are you serious?
That's funny. Yeah, no, but no, it
It-
is. It is like.
but it,
Oh, go
but
ahead.
what? But no, I'm just saying it's a direct correlation. Like you couldn't figure out in 10 years whether or not you could live together.
Oh, you know what it is, and it's comfortable. Okay, and this happened to me when I had my first ex girlfriend.
First
Uh,
ex-girlfriend.
I was being actually no, the way she fell in love, like the way we become a couple was weird. She kissed me and I backed and I smashed my head into a pole. So
What?
then yeah, no,
Okay.
but I see at first like I wasn't interested in her, right? And then she goes, do you want to date me? And I'm like, you know what? I'm like 21 at the time, and so I'm like, so I try, so I try, but here's what it is. When a couple, all right, at least in my experience, we were being comfortable towards the end. Like we're always like fighting, we're always arguing. The sex wasn't good as before. She made me sleep on the couch. She got mad at me because I used hot water while I was taking a shower. You know, so it goes from it goes from hey babe, oh my god, I can't wait to see you, to what the fuck do you want? Like it goes from that, and then you're comfortable with that, right? And then going to the movies, going to dinner,
You're a
it's something
sadist.
fun. Yeah, it's something fun, right? For example, when I was with my exes, like I'd enjoy going to the movies, like because it's something that we would do together, right? And then as we were towards the end, this became like a chore. It is
Really?
like yeah, like for example, okay, um one of my exes like okay, so this is gonna be everyone hang tight. This is actually a cheesy story. I wanted to go see Mall Cop 2 because Vic DiBittero was in there, right?
Yeah.
You
My
already told the
ex-girlf-
story. You've already told the story.
Oh
I
yeah, I
know.
already told her. Well, okay, so it's another.
Say it
Okay,
again.
no.
I want to hear it again.
Okay, so then she goes, babe, how about we go see Mall Cop 2? And I'm like,
She's a keeper.
yeah. But then towards the end, it was a chore, right? So you went from, hey, you know what, babe, let's go for dinner, let's go for a movie, all right, and then we'll go back to your place and we shebang, And it went from that to, all right, so babe, I gotta see you. All right, let's go here. All right, what movie do you want to go see? All right, yeah. You see, it's that way, And then when you get married, you gotta ask yourself, man, if we were living five stories higher, I might be able to jump off the ledge. You see, so it's those kind of things, and to me, watching these couples depresses me because I have friends who are telling me like, they're not happy, and I'm like, don't do things that you regret. Just take the divorce and go out. But they go, no, I can't because blah 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 blah, blah. And I'm like,
The problem is, Ange, listen to me, okay? The thing is that people have this fantasia in their heads, their fantasy of what a marriage is.
exactly.
Okay? I'm saying is that you have to prepare yourself that there are different stages in marriages. You're not always going to be in the honeymoon stage. Guys, things change. Things change when you have to pay a mortgage. Things
It's a
change
long-term investment.
when you have kids because your priorities change.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, that's all I'm going to say is I don't have a perfect marriage. We work at it. It's hard work. It's hard work to make a family unit run, and especially within that family unit, a marriage and between a couple. Yeah. But you have to make it work, and you have to be conscious of what a marriage is. That's all I'm saying. And people have this fantasy in their heads. To get rid of that fantasy.
Yeah.
You have to accept your significant other's weaknesses.
Exactly.
If you don't do that, you just keep putting them down, and then you're going to be out the door. You're going to give up on that person. That's not what marriage is about. No. Marriage is about sticking through thick and thin. It didn't. Yeah. It changed. Like there's more divorces and everything, but the idea that you should stick through thick and thin and sickness or health, that's always there. It's a fundamental of marriage.
Yeah,
exactly. You're swearing to that. It's like when you join the mob and they prick you with something, and then they have the Madonna burning.
Well, yeah,
same thing.
Here's my prick right here. It's on the
guys. My fingers. Hey guys, I have a question for you both.
Yeah.
So Louis, so before you got married, and Ange, yes. do you guys have a leather jacket?
Oh man!
Because no, think about this for a second. Okay? Because even the way you dress, for example, the reason why people are like Claudio is depressed. No, I'm being serious. See, a friend of mine before he got married, he was always dressed very well. He was wearing a nice jacket. And then he got married. I'm like, bro, did you go to like the Village de Valeur and you picked up $5 ripped clothes? No. See, so that's why I'm asking.
He brings up a very good point. Claudio, because I've seen that in conversations that my wife's had with her friends or whatever. She's like, whatever, not that I'm a Sharpie dresser or whatever, but obviously I'm in the business and whatever, and I'm dressed like, how come, wow, why can't my husband dress up like yours? But guys, don't let yourself go when you get married.
Exactly.
The classic test is the classic test. This is too fucking funny. The laugh
Whatever.
we have with my friends when we
Mhm.
go to our high school reunions and we compare ourselves to all the other guys.
Actually, even better, even better. You know what I do? Okay, so I go to Milano's and to get hot water with lemon. But then I see all these guys. I heard a conversation goes me back in the day, bro. Me, I could have fit in those clothes. Now, me, I got married, and then it's like all the rejects from the Goodfellas and Sopranos, like they're all standing outside, and I'm just there. I'm like, you poor bastards. And then someone comes up, like goes up to their friends and goes, me, I've been married for 15 years, bro. My wife tells me you have to go on a date, and he pulls out this big panino and just shoves it in his mouth, and I'm like, God damn.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like. I want to be like that. Minus the shoving panini in my mouth, but I want to get to that level, guys. Do you understand? I want to get to that level of being like, guys, I've been married for 10 years, and it was the best sex I ever had last night. My wife and I were both limping when we were walking, but holy shit, you know. And then, but that's why I want to like. That's why I want to get married. But then comes
But
apart.
you know what, Claudio? The thing is, like, look, the reason why we may not have a leather jacket after you get married, at the end of the day, you think about your kids, right? So, like, whatever you have left, you think of yourself. So, if you have to wear an old jacket for 10 years, you're going to do that so that your kid could go to school and that your wife could be happy. You could buy Valentine's Day flowers, you could pay a mortgage, you understand? At the end of the day, you become less important to yourself.
That's true. But
It's a very good point, guys. You know what? Honestly,
yeah.
my wife is like that, and it's literally everything is the kids,
Yeah,
the kids, and
exactly.
then at the very last, and
Yeah,
sometimes she doesn't even think about herself. I mean, the
kids come first.
unselfishness is unbelievable, which leads me
Yeah.
to another topic and another big
Mhm.
change and the life cycle for a man is when he becomes a father. And obviously of the three, I'm the only one I could speak of this, unless Claudio has some kid in Tahiti.
Fuck, I hope not.
They froze his sperm.
So
Oh my
you see, this is the thing, right? When our generation, right, the most of us, the three of us come from Italian immigrant families, and I don't want this to come out the wrong way, because I appreciate the way I was raised, and they did what they had to do at the times. They brought us here. They came here for a better life for us, and they gave it to us. Um, but then when you become a father and you're planning to become a father, I remember telling myself, you know what, I'm going to give my kids everything that I didn't have growing up. But the fact of the matter is that every generation is different, guys. So I'm not going to raise my kids the same way my parents. Everyone in their generation is going to raise their kids the way they have to do what in that generation. My father and mother couldn't have time to bring me to soccer and hockey and the school outings and help me with my homework. They didn't even speak a fucking word of English or French. Okay, so you do with what you have, right? Now I look at the way I'm being a father and signing them for sports, coaching their baseball team, my wife helping them with their homework and projects and this and that, and be involved in their lives. Bro, my parents knew nothing about my upbringing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Same.
nothing.
Same.
So here, that if I'm gonna give everyone a piece of advice, if you're gonna be a father or a parent for that matter, is raise your child the way you see fit and in the times that you're raising your child.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. But yeah, and I want to bring up on that point as well. And that's why, like, if you think you could raise a kid, by all means go ahead. But if you think you cannot, don't abandon your kids. Like I know a lot of people who abandon their kids, and I'm like, listen, I know I shouldn't talk, but like, like what, like WTF, right? Like, why are you doing this if you cannot afford to have a kid? And this is what some people don't understand is like when you have a kid or kids, twins, Depends how cursed you are. You gotta, kids. As you guys mentioned, kids come first, right? So if you have a kid and and you're with your girlfriend, you gotta understand it. It's not about you two anymore. And this is what I see people who don't understand that. Like they're like I know a friend who I want to smash him through a wall because he has a kid and he's not paying attention to him. And I'm like, but I tell him many times, I'm like, listen, you're a father now, okay? You have to have responsibilities. You have to be involved in your kid's life. You have to buy your kids diapers. You can't go and buy Parasuco jeans. You can't go around getting leather jackets or $500 Nike shoes. Yeah, all the money that you make, you have to go to your kid, or else what's the point? And that's what it is.
Claudio, you know what? I'm really glad you brought that up. Thank you, honestly, because being a man, we talk about men's lifestyle there. Anybody could be a parent. Okay, anybody could have a baby or help a woman get pregnant. Okay, but not every man could be an actual father.
Exactly.
And what does really a father being is exactly what you said, Claudio. And you know what? It's not just enough to provide financially and buy stuff. It's you have to be there for your fucking kid. Okay,
Exactly.
because if you're absent emotionally but financially you're giving nothing, you know what? Sorry, if you're emotionally gone and you're not committed emotionally, but financially you're giving everything, you're still worthless as a parent in my eyes.
Yeah.
You really are.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
Right, because what are you adding to this kid's? You're not adding any value to this person's
You're not guiding
upbringing.
them.
Absolutely. Right.
Exactly.
So, and I'm so happy you said that. And I'm gonna call out any guy, any father. You were man enough to make a baby. Be man enough to be a fucking father.
Exactly. And what sickens me is when I see them on Instagram, right? Like I have a friend, I see him on Instagram, and he's like, I'm with my, I was gonna say, I don't know, son's name, whatever his name is. I'm gonna call him fuckface. Anyways, so he goes, but then I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You only seen the what did you do today? Oh, I want my son, and then I got myself this. I'm like, oh man, if you live 5 floors higher, oh man. Yeah, no, and Track says it better, right? He goes, any idiot can have a baby. It boggles my mind. You need a license to drive, but anyone can have Unfortunately, you know what?
He's right.
You're right. You're right, Trax. You're right.
He's totally right. It drives me fucking crazy. It drives me crazy, bro. It drives me crazy. And I'm once again, I'm not a perfect parent. I'm not. I'm not telling you. I'm not telling everybody. I'm just saying the minimum of what I think a father should be. Okay, guys, it's not just about but I pay for it. No. It's not just about that. Okay, it's not just about that because you know what? The feeling of when my kid comes up to me and says, "Dad, do you want to just go outside and throw the ball around?" This guy, there's no feeling that could compare to that in life. I'm telling you guys, you're never gonna get another feeling of having those moments just throwing a little stupid ball.
Yeah,
because for him or her, this kid, it's everything at that moment. You understand me? It's everything for that kid at that moment.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
be a man. Be a man. Be a fucking parent. And you know what? One last thing I'm gonna say: if for whatever reason, right? Don't forget when you divorce, you don't divorce your fucking kid. You divorce your wife or or pay your fucking alimony and be a man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm 100% with you, Louis, because I know someone who's going through that, and let's just say, but it just questions me, right? So, it just questions how people could be, so como se dice, so dumb, immature, yeah. If you're not ready to get married, like for example, right? If you have a girlfriend, right, or a boyfriend, whatever, it's 2021, you can mingle jingle.
Doesn't matter. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter. And if you're with someone and you don't, and from day one you don't have a connection, then you should be saying, hey, you know what? I don't think it's gonna work out. To blah blah blah. But the fact that you're staying, and it builds up that anger, that hatred, everything builds up. It, it's ugh. And then marriage comes, and then that's when it's gonna hit worse. And then when if you have a kid or kids, that's where it's gonna hurt more,
Absolutely.
because you couldn't tell your significant other before you got married, listen, I'm not interested. I have a nice life, you
You're right.
know. But because people get emotionally attached. That's why my problem is.
So
But
my point is, you again, great points tonight, Claudio. Is let this stuff be known before, guys. If you're
exactly,
with a girl and you know for her she wants to be a mom, and you know you never want to be a father, don't be a prick. Be
exactly,
honest with your spouse. Be honest with with your partner. No, I don't want
exactly,
to. I don't want to have kids. I don't want to adopt kids. Whatever. I don't see myself being a father. Don't lie to her and lead her on
exactly,
until it's too
exactly,
late. And another thing,
exactly.
because what I'm gonna, and just to go further, what Claudio's saying is
Yeah,
because I see too much of this today. Yes, I understand that there's a lot of high rate of divorces, but guys, like I said before, okay, don't let your hatred for your partner reflect on your children, because kids see, read, and know and feel everything.
yeah,
Don't let them know that you hate their mother or vice versa. Don't, because then the kid ends up paying the price. Don't be a lying sack of shit. Be a
yeah.
father. Be a father.
Mhm.
Be good when you're with them. Don't talk bad about their mother when you're not with them. That's what it is to be a man. And that's all I'm going to
Exactly,
say. And I'm
exactly.
talking to a lot of people. A lot.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's it's sickening, and it all goes back to what I was saying. You know, when you meet that person, Ange, you have anything you wanna? Because you've been quiet for a
Well,
little bit.
absolutely. Like, listen, I've been quiet because I've been listening to what Luigi was saying, and just like I was into it, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
seriously, it's as if I'm watching a podcast. It's crazy, but you know what? Emily was commenting on it too. She said they need their mom and dad just as much. So, what I wanted to say about Luigi's comments is that your childhood is your childhood. It's not. It's a certain amount of time, and once it's gone and it's scarred, you're gonna remember that for your whole life.
Yeah.
My dad wasn't there. My dad wasn't there. You're always gonna have this resentment, and then it's gonna be used as an excuse. Oh, I did this because my dad wasn't there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it creates negative behaviors, negative tendencies. You know what I mean? So it's like, be responsible. You put that salchich in the, you know what? Well, you have
Exactly,
to own up to it. You know what I mean? It's like,
exactly,
It's it,
exactly.
it's a great point, Ange. And you know what? Because if there's been that history, right? If
mhm.
your grandfather was a prick and to your father, and your father was a prick
It
to
rubs
you,
off.
you know
Yeah,
what? End the chain. End it.
Yeah.
Don't
yeah.
let it continue, guys.
No, no, you're
I, I
right. You're right.
I'm not saying my dad was a bad father. I'm a different father. I father differently. I'm
Yeah,
not doing
for sure.
exactly like my father. My
Yeah,
father
yeah,
was a
no.
great dad. My father
Oh
was a
yeah,
great dad. He did what he had to do. He supplied. He supplied. I mean, we had a roof over our head, and he did what he had to do.
yeah.
I'm just saying, you guys, you could stop the chain, like Angelo said. You could stop it. Be a different type of parent.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, and then plus, well, I mean, especially for my parents, right? Like, didn't know what my dad like he didn't know what was going on, like for school and stuff. Like, it would just teach me what I need to be taught, and then that's a bit, he didn't know what was going on, or around socially. And then through time, like, your parents encourage you to do what you got to do, right? They encourage you, you go to school, they encourage you to learn, and they encourage you to socialize. You do what you got to do, right?
Yeah.
And if it's, and then there's also other parents who also shelter you a lot, right? So
Yeah,
that, yeah,
but
so that,
I don't think that's done. I don't think it's purposely done bad. I mean, like I said, everyone has their different types of
yeah,
parenting, but I'm just saying is just be present. That's all. Whether you're
exactly,
in a relationship or not, whether there's a father or mother always in the picture, married or not, just be present. Even if because I've seen fathers that are married and they're not present with their kids. They're not there.
no,
And they in their head they feel I financially I no, it's not enough. That's it. It really gets to me. I understand. It gets to me because it's not enough, guys. It's not enough. So,
It's not. It's
anyway,
not.
I think on that note we could wrap it up. What do you think, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I think we could wrap it up. I just want to ask people in the comment section, if you if you agreed with us, just let us know. Put it here in the comment section. And even if you're watching this after the live, you're all you're amazing too. But please just leave a comment for us and that's it. So we're gonna do any plugins.
Actually, I want to say something, guys.
Go ahead, Ange.
We were talking about fatherhood, basically. I think we just touched up on it. We're gonna have an episode on fatherhood, right, guys?
Yes.
It's coming in the future that we're gonna do a fatherhood. Actually, when is Father's Day, guys?
It's
Good
Luigi.
question.
Coming up, eh? It's coming up in May or no? Is it June?
June.
Yeah.
I think it's June.
No. Father's
June.
Day
I
is
believe
in
it's
June.
in June.
Father's Day.
You know
is in
what?
June.
Around Father's Day, we should definitely do a fatherhood.
I like that.
Maybe even parenting, but more fatherhood because it's a men's podcast.
Exactly.
I like that.
Exactly. We're gonna talk about papas and
The role of a dad, everything. You know, the beauty of being a dad. You know, like
exactly. And by the way,
struggles.
Raul, I'm seeing why are you retracting messages? Anyways,
It doesn't matter. Any plugin, guys? Yeah, go, Ange. What's coming up
Ange,
for you?
go first.
Guys, tomorrow we have the girls of the Daily Struggles are coming on. We're gonna have a nice chat with 5 lovely women. And Monday we have Power Play with Ange and Tia as well, which is lots of fun. So hope to see you guys there. And thank you guys for the support. Check out the Ange TV show. It's right over there. See the Ange TV. Just type it up, you'll find it. Thank you very much, guys.
Nice, no problem. So I'm gonna go. So tomorrow night I'm gonna be doing movie trivia night with Victoria Blair. We're not gonna do any trivia. We're just gonna talk about movies. And then Sunday is gonna be episode 49 of the Dirty Four podcast. We have a guest. His name is Zach Kick. He is a local Montreal comedian, and it's gonna be a fun show. So check that out. And Louis C, you're plugging.
Bro, episode 50. Are we gonna party till 9:30 curfew to celebrate episode 50?
Yeah, you know what? That's gonna be in the works.
I can't wait, guys. Listen, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Again, the chat room was going crazy. Taking a little break right now with Agree to Disagree show. Just craziness at work. I might just do a solo show this week. Haven't decided yet, but thanks again, guys, for tuning in for the 3 of us. I always say it. It's like therapy. I love talking with these guys. They keep my spirits up during this fucked up times that we're living. I'm finding them swearing a lot tonight, but it's okay.
That's
I feel better.
It's okay. Things are gonna get better, man. Things are gonna get better, and shows are gonna open up, and everyone's gonna laugh or cry. Depends how your sense of humor is. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. This has been episode 7 of 3 Men in a Podcast. Don't forget to do the following: like, share, and subscribe, because we need to have 100 subscribers so Angelo could get a new shirt. And and folks, we're gonna be back with episode 8 in 2 weeks. 2 Wednesdays, and we're gonna have another juicy topic for you. So, signing off, ladies and gentlemen. Have yourselves a good night, and please, when the
tell a friend.
Tell a friend, and please, guys, when everything reaches when the curfew reaches back to 9:30, let's hope that nothing fucks up. So Logo is gonna say, let's bring it back to 8. Let's just fingers crossed that it stays until 9:30, then 11, and then screw the curfew. Have yourselves a good night. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.